Is this thing on? Yeah, that's right. I'm streaming again. Second day in a row, no less. How brave can I be? Um, I just kind of wanted to continue the fantasy life grind and watch a few icebergs. There's a cloud conflict. Shit. Um, oops. Unable to sync. That's fine. We'll play on the cloud save, and if anything bad happens, oh well, because there's already Fantasy Life has its own cloud save, so we should be fine. Oh, the misery. Every single person is me. Yeah. Yeah, Fantasy Life. And as for what Iceberg will be watching, I do have one preloaded already. Shit. Oh, there we go. The YouTube controversy iceberg. I was looking for ones to see, and I immediately, this one immediately caught my eye. I have not cared about YouTube controversies in a while. I really wanted to, catch up. So that's what I'm gonna be putting on today.
YouTube is one of the most visited websites on the internet, and attracts—
Actually, hold on, let me. me. Yes. I put it back on between streaming. Also, sorry if I sound like a chud. I'm very sick. I'm not very sick. I'm just sick. But
well over 2.5 billion users monthly. This is only beaten out by Google, who owns YouTube anyway, so it doesn't really matter. With such a large community, there's bound to be many bad actors, and I've cataloged some of the most notable of which in an iceberg format. The iceberg goes for most known information.
Yeah, there's a few bad actors.
Without further ado, this is the YouTube controversies iceberg.
Yeah. By the way, I have to point it out. Love toasted cherries. Like, this channel is so goated. They do a bunch of Roblox stuff. Oh my goodness, I love their channel. They're so good. They did a video about Roblox horror game. It's yeah, there it is. So good. Wait, hold on. I was looking at the wrong screen. This one is so freaking good. Oh my goodness.
This video, I should mention that this video covers a lot of disturbing and sensitive topics, and is much darker than any of the iceberg style videos I've made before.
Oh, I messed up. Picture in picture.
Brothers. Starting off strong, Logan and Jake Paul are some of the most popular yet controversial
classic
figures on YouTube, with both of them having a combined 46
million. Can I be honest? In every single controversy regarding one of the Paul brothers, I genuinely cannot remember which one is is generally the one people give a shit about. I think it's Logan nowadays. I think people dislike Logan a lot more. But honestly, I mix them up so much.
Subscribers and 13.2 billion total views on just their main channels alone. The two have been heavily scrutinized for a variety of reasons over the last decade they've been on YouTube, and there's a lot I could say about the two, though I'll only talk about the most notable controversies to save time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they have a lot to go over.
New Year's Eve 2017, Logan Paul started a mini-series of vlogs filmed in Japan. On the third day, they would travel to a forest commonly referred to as
classic.
For the high amount of that occur there every year, they'd later find a body hanging from a tree and would turn the camera on it multiple times, only blurring the face of the body, despite other graphic details of the body being very apparent and
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen the OG of that video. I've only ever seen the at most the blurred body, but never actually the original. I'm really curious. He showed the whole thing, right? I can't believe he thought that he would get away with that. Not even in terms of oh, that's offensive to the people, which it already is. But it's insane to me that he even showed the body uncensored at all. That's crazy. Or I think it was uncensored. I want to say, well, actually, no, there's no way he was that dumb, right? I mean, it's like, whatever. It's Jake Paul.
Clear, with Logan at one point even mentioning how the hands were almost purple.
This is bad for dude, his hands are purple.
What the hell?
This was scrutinized for how inconsiderate it was, how obnoxious those who were filming acted, and the fact this video was mostly shown to an audience made of children and young teenagers. This is far from the only controversy the two have faced either, so I'll do a lightning round of the few that I can remember off the top of my head. The cryptocurrency scams that Logan and Jake have been a part of, their general obnoxious behavior which made them an easy target for commentary channels, the time Jake Paul's mansion was raided by the FBI in relation to his involvement in looting during a protest, the time they accidentally doxed Post Malone, the multiple house parties Jake Paul held.
Wait, they doxed Post Malone? What?
In the comments made afterwards, and much more.
I don't remember
Baby
that.
Shark / Justin Bieber, Baby / Friday / Wrecking Ball. These 4 entries will all be combined as they're all on the Iceberg for the exact same reason. These songs had music videos that went viral at the time of them being created and received a lot of negative attention. The middle 2 are pop music videos made by teen stars in the early 2010s, and the first is a nursery rhyme with over 12 billion views. All of these besides Wrecking Ball are currently in the top 50 most disliked videos of all time. PewDiePie
It's so funny to me.
refers
You were
to
such
an
haters
infamous
back
clip
then.
of the YouTuber PewDiePie from 2017. The clip is from a live stream that took place in September and shows PewDiePie getting frustrated while playing the game PUBG and calling the other person he was fighting a racial slur. The event received a lot of attention for a variety of reasons.
That was
One,
so bad.
the creator of his
Why did he
size
do
doing
that?
something like that, as he was the most subscribed YouTuber at the time of the incident, and 2, because this wasn't the only moment like this that happened in the same year. Only a few months prior, PewDiePie had done something very similar that caused a lot of changes to be made to YouTube, though I'll talk about that later. Around a year later,
Well, that
PewDiePie started a
wasn't
sort
just
of joke
him.
rivalry with
If anything,
Indian
it was
music company
like
T-Series,
it was a
as their
whole
official
movement
YouTube channel was.
Because it was like, what was it? It was the demonetization thing, but I think that was more. Wasn't that more so to do with like children's safety on YouTube, and that was the whole like big thing? That's what I remember, at least. I could be totally wrong. That's what I remember.
Quickly going to overtake PewDiePie as #1 most subscribed YouTube channel. As a result, the subscribe to PewDiePie movement would become a widespread meme amongst the YouTube community. Notable examples of this quote movement include printers have to make notes about subscribing to PewDiePie, and the time MrBeast promoted PewDiePie's channel live at the Super Bowl.
This is before. That's what he says before the MrBeast congratulations. So I know.
Which would rapidly
I don't
gain
think he's
hundreds
gonna
of
be
millions of
mentioned
views
here,
over the next year. The support for this movement came to a halt in March 2019 when the man behind the publicly supported the movement. The first of the 2 shootings was live streamed.
That was so
and before walking into the mosque, the gunman would tell the viewers, "Remember lads, subscribe to PewDiePie." Not long after, the perpetrator behind the would do the exact same. Already being called anti-Semitic and being associated with the alt-right by news outlets before these events, PewDiePie would receive even more negative news attention, causing him to make a statement effectively ending the movement, stating that having my name associated with something so unspeakably vile has affected me in more ways than I've let shown.
Yeah, that would definitely
as they were thought by
make it a lot more difficult to want to support
for prank
the movement.
YouTubers. I've combined all the most notable into one entry. As
Dude, I kind of miss prank YouTubers, low key.
While early prank videos uploaded to YouTube were often seen in a positive light and were rather lighthearted,
wait,
a wave
what the
of
hell?
prank
That's so
YouTubers joined
funny.
the platform around 2012 to 2014 that would become famous for being obnoxious in public, their disturbing prank ideas, and would later become some of the most hated creators on YouTube.
That
One
was an
example that comes to
insane
mind is
video
Sam
title.
Pepper's killing his best friend prank from 2015, which was on the news for the large amount of backlash it received from the general YouTube community. The creators behind these pranks were heavily scrutinized for some of the often disturbing pranks that were pulled on camera, and just as many more prank YouTubers were scrutinized for faking pranks for views. 3 good examples are Prank Invasion, Vitalis TV, and Roman Atwood. All 3 of these YouTubers were caught using paid actors in videos. There have also been incidents of injuries, assaults, and even deaths that occurred as a result of YouTube
glad they were all
pranks gone
actors.
wrong, such as Timothy Wilkes' death in February 2021. Killer Keemstar, host of the Drama Alert YouTube channel, is one of the most controversial figures in YouTube's history. Despite this, he's had a presence on the platform for over 14 years. If you go to Keemstar's page on the YouTube wiki, the table of contents lists over 40 subchapters in the
Jesus
controversy
Christ!
section. But I'll give you a quick rundown. In January 2009, trolling YouTuber D-Ranker uploaded a clip showing a drunken Keemstar in an Xbox lobby talking shit for fun, and people enjoyed the video a lot. This is where Keemstar's career starts. 9 months later, the XDJ Keemstar channel was created on YouTube. Later that year, Keemstar joined an already existing Halo trolling clan named Federation of Asshole Gamers. Do not look at the acronym. In 2010, Keemstar started streaming on primitive streaming service Blog TV, and would later become the #1 streamer for a time. During this time, he would be repeatedly console banned from Xbox Live by Microsoft, which resulted in Keemstar quitting making COD and Halo trolling videos.
I just want to say hi. Ugh, my bad, chat. My mother came home, wanted to say hi. And if you don't help your mothers bring in the groceries when you're playing a single player game, you're a freak. So, I thought I'd do a little favor. Back to YouTube controversy. Where were we at again?
Unknown point in 2010, Keemstar started streaming on the website
Oh, shit.
Battlecam. This website no longer exists, but at the time it was a webcam live streaming website where people could upvote or downvote one of the two streamers put next to each other. And if the more downvoted streamer of the two was downvoted for long enough, they would be kicked out and someone in a queue of streamers would replace their spot. This is where the clip of Keemstar saying the hard R comes from. The context
never mind.
Keemstar gave behind this was that a moderator named Alex was messing with Keemstar, starting his stream early and supposedly calling him Italian slurs. Keemstar was banned from YouTube in the early 2010s after joining an MCN network owned by a hacker, leading to multiple other users being hacked as well. Between 2011 and 2013, Keemstar's channels and channels he was a part of would be repeatedly removed by YouTube, and he was blacklisted. In the last days of 2012, Drama Alert started as a way to report on drama going on between YouTubers and the COD community, with the original Drama Alert channel getting 25,000 subscribers and hundreds of thousands of views in the first 2 weeks of the channel's creation. On the 9th of January 2016, Keemstar mistook a 62-year-old RuneScape streamer named RS Glory
this
Gold
was so
of being the
sad.
convicted felon in John Phillips. As a result, a crowd of people would berate RS Glory and Gold on his livestream chat based on misinformation. Keemstar would later call this his career's biggest mistake. On the 9th of June 2016, Keemstar
at least he recognized the one mistake he's
permission
made over
months
the
before his
millions of
face reveal,
others.
but we'll talk about him later. And finally, in June 2019, Keemstar is accused of contributing towards YouTuber and streamer in the Nintendo community Etika's suicide, with heated interviews gone wrong taking place on the Drama Alert channel just weeks before. Rest in peace, Etika.
Yeah, rest in peace.
This one I don't even
It's
feel
so
like I need to
unfortunate.
talk about, though recently Andrew Tate has been officially charged in Romania with Charlie Bit My Finger NFT. Charlie Bit My Finger, the iconic viral video from 2007 with over 800 million views, was deleted from YouTube by Charlie's family after the video was sold as an NFT worth $761,000. This upset a lot of people who saw this video when they were younger. Shane Dawson, or just Shane, was at one point one of YouTuber's most popular creators. In recent times, however, his career has taken a 180 and his channel has been slowly...
NFTs are so weird to me. It is crazy how, what is it? They were so huge, like, at one point, but now, like, straight up no one's talking about them. It was crazy how huge of a fad they were, and then they just died. Like, there's still NFT and crypto projects being made, obviously, but it's such a small subsect of people who just, like... I'll be honest, it's just straight up smart people versus dumb people in that, where it's like the smart people are the greedy smart people are the dudes who just make these shit coins, and then the dumb people just buy it for some reason. They're actual like mollusks. I don't get it. I genuinely, I don't get the. It's just insane to me, the appeal of like buying into a coin you know is gonna die. Like, why? Just why? It's so weird.
Dying ever since. The main 3 things Shane Dawson were accused of were racism.
Like
there are many videos that exist of Shane Dawson either doing blackface, saying racial slurs, or both at the same time. Possibly the most well-known Shane Dawson controversy comes from a clip from a 2013 podcast, where Shane tells a story where he using his cat. In a different episode of the same podcast, Shane talks about very young children in a which Shane explained both of these to be, quote, edgy jokes. Though it was never mentioned in the original podcast clips that these were jokes, and didn't seem like it to many.
I don't
Shane
know
has also
why
been involved with many controversial figures throughout his career, namely
no, we're not bringing them up. No, we're not
series
bringing
on Shane's channel. Content Cop was an insanely popular commentary series on YouTube that ran from 2015 to 2017, focusing on criticizing people in the YouTube community. The targets of each episode were usually controversial figures in the community and were disliked by many to begin with.
Was this post iDubbbz becoming like super critical about its like previous content? Because this was made a year ago, so this is like still relatively relevant for a lot of these YouTubers. I don't know, like, I wonder if you could consider Ethan more or less controversial ever since like he kind of like hated on his original audience. I'm really curious, to be honest. I feel like there's a lot more people who like hate on him ever since he like kind of changed his stance on everything regarding his content. than before.
These videos were immensely popular, with the series garnering over 300 million views across 11-ish episodes. The thing is, these videos were often insanely offensive, with racial and homophobic slurs being used in almost all of them.
Yeah.
Despite most Content Cop episodes being on rather controversial figures who had plenty of aspects about them to criticize, some episodes would spend almost the entire duration focused on the appearance of the subject of the episode instead. The constant slur usage and general hateful spirit of many episodes brought what iDubbbz describes as a toxic fanbase, and in 2023 he would unlist all Content Cop episodes and post an apology, which stands at a 62% like to dislike ratio. Elsagate refers to a large-scale controversy where YouTube channels and videos targeted towards children, primarily featuring characters like Spider-Man, Elsa, and the Hulk, started incorporating disturbing content and themes that should not be viewed by children, often including violence and disturbing fetish-like content. This content would become a huge problem on YouTube from 2016 to 2017. Throughout the last year, this kind of disturbing kids content has had a worrying resurgence, though I'll talk about this later. Jellybean is a Minecraft Shorts YouTuber who is one of the most hated and controversial
I think kids
YouTubers
content has legitimately gotten worse. It's like somehow more manufactured. There's the prevalence of like AI videos, which are all just complete slop. Like, I'll be honest, it's just complete and utter garbage. And like, it feels more gruesome. I'm gonna be honest. As a slop connoisseur, I think Elsagate was somehow better because there was just simply because there was less time from the creators put into it. Like, and most people just wore costumes or whatever, like danced around, whatever, and did edgy stuff that was bad too. But now it's so manufactured to the point where people can just pump out an animation of like, I don't even want to like describe what they usually have because it's like so gross. It's insane to me how much of that like Elsagate type content there still is on YouTube nowadays. I mean, it makes sense. Unfortunately, it kind of makes sense. Kids are just kind of drawn to weird taboo topics, and that they don't really fully understand, and so the creators kind of play on that by making these videos where the characters like get into accidents or like give birth or stuff. It's unfortunate, but it like makes sense, unfortunately. I was stuck on the frame of Jellybean next to Shrek. I'm really curious about this.
2022, for seemingly no reason in comparison to some of the other creators on this iceberg. Starting in early 2022, they would become one of the most hated and harassed figures in the YouTube space in a very short period of time. The main reason behind this backlash, from what I can understand, was the comment spam coming from Jellybean's fanbase, specifically the "it's not a mistake, it's a masterpiece" phrase, which was plastered over many comment sections for like a week. I won't talk about them for long here, but Chris Chan is one of the most ridiculed, hated, and most fascinatingly most documented internet users.
I know we just swapped with Chris Chan, but the Jellybean thing, man, I forgot. Like, I didn't forget about Jellybean because they kind of made a resurgence in like a post-irony phase where people are like making fun of the people who originally made fun of Jellybean. Because like, let's be real, man, it was just bullying a child for fun. That's kind of just what it was. Like, really, I there's no good reason people hated Jellybean so much other than they were just kind of annoying. Oh no, it was okay. Legitimately, the comment span was really annoying, so there is that. But like, Jesus, oh my god, I can't believe people. I mean, no, I can. I mean, the internet had a whole Justin Bieber phase where they just absolutely shit on a child because they just kind of didn't personally like them or the music and thought it was annoying. So like, I guess Jellybean, the whole Jellybean thing isn't that surprising. It's just kind of, yeah, it's kind of a thing that happens, unfortunately. Especially with children, unfortunately. Like, they really shouldn't get this mass amount of hate, but it just happens. I think nowadays, I don't think something like that would happen again. I don't think, at least. Because, what is it? People just kind of... People have been very introspective about that kind of thing nowadays, of like, man, we really shouldn't have harassed and bullied this child. So I doubt it would happen again. But we'll see. I mean, you never know. There could be another Jellybean out there someday, but I highly, highly doubt it. I think the internet's kind of past the phase of bullying children.
I would call Chris Chan the most trolled internet user ever. In 2000, Chris Chan created a comic based on his quote original character, Sonichu, a combination of Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu. This webcomic was discovered by 4chan users in 2007, and Chris Chan would start making videos online around this time. Throughout 2007 and 2008, Chris Chan would start getting ridiculed and made fun of on sites like 4chan and Encyclopedia Dramatica. As Chris Chan was openly trying to get a girlfriend, trolls would get under their skin quite often by pretending to be a girl interested in them, getting them to do embarrassing things on camera for recordings to later be leaked. Several public incidents surrounding Chris Chan would occur throughout the 2000s, such as the time they maced a GameStop employee for
I forgot about.
After a relative
the whole
activity online
GameStop
Christian,
thing.
phone calls regarding a graphic story Christian told about his would be leaked in July
Jesus Christ, I
2021.
forgot
On the
about
1st
that.
of August,
Well, no, I
Christian
didn't
would be
forget about
arrested
it.
and
Just,
charged with one count. If you want more info on the deep rabbit hole
This
that
is
is Christian's
insane
story
part
and
of
his massive
internet
digital
history. Oh
footprint,
my
I would
God.
recommend any video essay on YouTube about the history behind them. There's a
You cannot recommend a video. The unfortunate part, I will say, is that if you want to just know about Chris Chan, it is so hard because like all the stuff around Chris Chan, is just like so long. It really does not need to be this detailed. I'm gonna be so real. Like there's people who just go in and just want to know like the basic summary about how we got from Sonichu to unfortunate like incest, but no, there's just nothing. There's just like no short resources I could think of. Look at the parts of the Christian documentary. It's 40 minutes each. There 40 parts. That's insane. Jesus Christ.
a 70-plus part series of 40-minute episodic documentaries
70
about
parts.
Christian's life that is still ongoing and has been for the last 5 years. I should also mention the CWC Wiki, which is just filled with information about Christian's life, from their biggest scandals to random Animal Crossing videos they made in 2003, having
What the
entire
hell?
articles based on them. This is an umbrella entry for a variety of dangerous challenges and trends that originated from the YouTube community. The Cinnamon Challenge, a fad that started in the early 2000s and peaked in popularity in the 2010s, where people would try to eat a spoonful of cinnamon without a
Dude.
drink to help you. This is quite dangerous, and poison control centers in America were receiving hundreds of calls about failed cinnamon
Damn,
challenge attempts
really?
by the start of
I didn't know it was that
2012.
bad.
The Tide Pod challenge was a trend that started near the end of 2017,
Oh,
where people would
God.
attempt to eat Tide Pods, which would most likely be deadly.
Anyone actually do this? Like, I'm starting to think, like, I feel like this is just a thing that was made up as, like, a fear-mongering thing, because I feel like I've heard no actual cases, like, maybe one or two of, like, it actually happening, but in terms of, like a genuine pandemic of people doing like the Tide Pod challenge, I don't think I've heard anyone actually do it, because of course it was stupid. So like, I mean, of course there's kids who could, but I feel like it would have been a way bigger story if someone actually did it. Again, I'm sure that someone actually did do it. I just don't think it was way more overblown than it actually was.
if ingested fully. By the start of 2018, the AAPCC had reported over 37 cases of teenagers trying the challenge. Planking, a trend that started in the late 2000s and early 2010s, where
Planking.
people
Dude,
would
this
lie
is
on their
funny,
stomachs in
though.
weird places. The trend started to dip in popularity after a man in Brisbane fell to his death after planking on his balcony in 2011. The Bird Box
Well,
challenge, based on the
that
Netflix
sucks.
original of the same name, was a challenge where people would blindfold themselves before getting themselves into dangerous situations. In
What
early
the
2019,
hell?
a teenager in Utah crashed her car while driving blindfolded, leading to Netflix putting out a statement advising people to not try the challenge.
What
the
the
ice cream challenge,
hell?
where people would record themselves running
Why?
the floor, opening ice cream cartons from a freezer and licking the top
Maybe
before
people
putting
are
it back where it
stupid.
originally was. The blackout challenge.
Oh, this
started
was
on
just
TikTok in
so
2021,
annoying.
involves choking yourself until you black out, which has led to the death of at least 15 children over the last 2 years.
15?
The condom challenge.
Okay, maybe
popularized near the end of 2015.
I will take back what I said about the Tide Pod thing. People are fucking stupid. Why? That's crazy. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Where someone drops a water-filled condom on someone's head, enveloping their head. And lastly, the fire challenge, which initially started around 2012 to 2014, but had a resurgence on TikTok and YouTube in the early 2020s. The challenge revolved around people setting themselves on fire and has led to the deaths of multiple people.
What the
Nikocado
fuck?
Avocado is one of the most controversial figures in the mukbang community on YouTube, and there's a lot you could say about him, so I'll try to make this section of the video quick. He started out as a vegan mukbang YouTuber in the early 2010s, but as time went on, he would stop eating vegan and started eating more and more during videos. This would cause him to rapidly gain massive amounts of weight, with his viewers growing more and more concern for him. As time went on, he started getting a negative reputation in the mukbang community. Often his videos would boil down into fights with his husband and mental breakdowns in front of mountains of food. Starting in 2019, Nikocado Avocado's abusive and harmful behavior would be highlighted as several figures in the mukbang community would make videos talking about how he acted behind the scenes, namely Stephanie Sue. Again, this is a deep rabbit hole, as you can very clearly tell. Nikocado Avocado
I can't tell if Nikocado is genuinely like a bad person, or if they just got into a lot of petty dramas. Like, I just everything that happened with Nikocado, like, there's just a lot. And like, listen, I love keeping up with random bullshit, but sometimes it's just too much. I don't know what's going on with that whole thing. Wait, so I buried a weapon, right? I think if I leave the expedition, it might be done. Let me also here.
Sacrificing his health for YouTube content. Out of everyone in the commentary community around the mid-2010s, I think RiceGum's story is one of the most interesting. Starting out in 2012 as a part of the COD.
Low-key, I don't think RiceGum's very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. RiceGum is just kind of like a pussy. They're kind of just annoying. Like, that's from what I remember. Do they even upload still? RiceGum? I'm not even sure.
Trolling scene on YouTube, he would become one of YouTube's biggest commentary channels for a time, and the subject to a lot of drama. Throughout 2014 and 2015, RiceGum grew a sizable following on Twitch, where he would play games like COD and even interview models and porn stars. This is where some of his earliest controversies arose, as RiceGum's behavior towards some of these people was very strange.
Oh my god, can I say, like, it is a terrible, terrible vocal stim, but the amount of times I saw did it feel good though? Like, granted, not nearly in the severity or like situation that RiceGum did it, but oh my god, it's so bad. Dude, I hate it. I hate it. So
not
bad.
Telling the person being interviewed that it was live. The most infamous of these controversies is a clip from 2015 of RiceGum asking one of these people who are this question.
Yeah, bro.
No, but did it feel good though?
Nah, I didn't.
In March 2017, after RiceGum and
it didn't. Oh my god.
had beef online, they had met each other at someone else's party in LA. Gabby would approach RiceGum, taunting him and recording him for a Snapchat story, and RiceGum would apparently repeatedly tell her to stop recording. She continued to ignore his requests and record him, and RiceGum would apparently take her phone and smash it. While this is certainly rude, what Gabby Han would do afterwards would make it a lot worse for herself. After the incident, she would tell fans on her Snapchat story that she was pinned down and hit before the phone was smashed.
What the hell?
The story changed a few different times. A witness at the party would debunk this and state that RiceGum had only taken her phone after a bit of a tug of war kind of situation. Quick note, the witness in question is a controversial figure himself, as pedophilia allegations surround his name. RiceGum had beef with Team 10 throughout the summer of 2017 and created some of his most popular videos because of it. Notably his Every Night Sis diss track, which has nearly 200 million views. In October 2017, the YouTuber iDubbbz would make an episode of the show Content Cop, which was mentioned previously on the topic of RiceGum. This was a huge blow to RiceGum's reputation, and the original Content Cop episode was huge. While some genuinely good points are made in this episode, a lot of the content of the video was genuinely uncalled for. RiceGum's last huge controversy before he left YouTube involved promoting a gambling mystery box type website to his audience of children. I think it was. Supposedly, RiceGum was paid over $100,000 to promote this website with quotes from the company. Jake Paul also faced backlash for promoting the same website at the same time.
Jake Paul was kind of the RiceGum of like...
As of late though, RiceGum has started to come back with frequent live streams and clips from his streams, sometimes going viral on.
I'd say RiceGum, or Jake Paul kind of turned into a very similar figure to RiceGum, where they just got into a lot of different controversies that all added up into you just being like, oh, it's fucking this guy again. Except Logan Paul kind of like outlived RiceGum, I'd say, because people still talk about him because of there's still stuff to talk about with like Lunchley or whatever. But with like RiceGum, no one gives a shit. Like, I'm gonna be real, I don't know what the hell RiceGum's been up to. I feel like that says a lot in terms of like the general internet stuff. I don't know, does he even still upload? Who knows?
On TikTok. Net Nobody, most commonly known as Skydoes Minecraft, was one of the biggest gamers ever at one point. Skydoes Minecraft became famous after a string of successful Minecraft mod showcase videos and would become a part of Team Crafted. In 2016, Sky's relationship with their wife would fall apart, and they would quit doing Minecraft not long after. In January 2022, Liz, the mother of Sky's second child, would come out with some very damning allegations. Sky abused her, cheated on her, abused their pets, multiple women, stole money from many people, and even forced her to have a child. Not long after, Sky would try to sell their YouTube channel for almost $1 million. That vegan teacher is a YouTuber who initially had a career as an English teacher, but became a popular yet hated figure on YouTube starting in late 2020, after what I can only describe as vegan extremism.
Eat vegetables!
I can't can't tell. I still, to this day, I can't tell if it's a bit or not. Like, I usually have this take when I'm like mixed. I genuinely, I think it was like part extremism, part like a bit. It just feels so unreal to where I don't think I can call it like actual extremism. It feels too much like a bit. I don't know.
The first notable backlash she saw was due to comments made towards various members of the Dream SMP.
Hello TikTok, I got 2 more golden play buttons today that I'm going to show to girls if they come round.
Oh yeah, right, this is weird.
Because they do.
Tommy, the nice vegan girls don't want to see your buttons. But if you want them to play with your buttons, you're going to have to show them your fruits and your
Why did she
vegetables.
say this? That was so weird. He was a
Was
child.
only 16 years old. That vegan teacher would become even more popular after a duet TikTok with her was made by Gordon Ramsay in early 20.
It feels so weird being the same age. Like, I think the same age as Tommy, or he might be younger. I'm honestly not sure. Oh my god, that guy is such a crazy life. He seems to be like, going through it a little bit, but like Tommy is like seems like so chill. I hope the guy is. I obviously don't know the guy in real life, so I can't like with any YouTuber. I can't be like, this guy is like definitively a cool person, but like with the projects he's done and stuff, he genuinely seems like a really cool guy. I don't know. I like that Tommy in it guy. Even if he is a little annoying, but I'm a little annoying too. So it's kind of sweet.
2021, which would go on to receive over 12 million likes. That vegan teacher would receive even more backlash after she uploaded a video about racism. I'll let you spot what's wrong here.
Naturally intelligent.
Why did she upload this? Okay,
Generous.
This had to have been a bit.
And radiant. She looks like she could do that to me.
EDP, you've likely heard his name before, and you definitely
It had
know
to have
what
been a
it
bit.
stands
There's
for.
no
EDP
way.
was a YouTuber mostly known for his bombastic personality that was often showcased
EDP.
in his vulgar rant videos. EDP had been on YouTube since 2010, had over 2 million subscribers, and was well respected by much of the YouTube community.
Damn, he
Throughout
had
the
it
summer of
all,
2020,
really.
however,
It's
the positive
crazy.
opinion many had on him would slowly fade, as rumors of him being a child started spreading, as multiple victims came out with proof to back it up. In April 2021,
I forget how the original like
allegations,
allegations
who I should
came
add were
out.
nowhere near innocent, ended up exposing him as a after
Because
they
everyone
used
just knows
a
it from
meet up
here.
with him. This is where the infamous footage of him trying to get a cupcake came
I
from.
want a
Over the next
cupcake.
few weeks, the news would spread rapidly, and his channel would be terminated later that month. Since then, EDP has tried to make multiple comebacks and was spotted working a few different jobs, though his pages would get terminated very quickly. Google Plus was a social media website that Google operated from 2011 to 2019. The reason this found the iceberg is because of how Google Plus accounts were
Hold on,
integrated
Bob
into
is
YouTube
here.
channels.
Hold on, where's the like Bob Google Plus? What the hell? What the hell is this? There it is. What the hell is like this? This is not what I was looking for. I just need to look up. Dude, Bob is building an army. This tank and Bob are against Google Plus. Copy and paste this all over YouTube if you are with us. Dude, classic. I was like, unfortunately, I only started being on YouTube like right as this this whole thing was like ending, I think. I forget when Google Plus actually ended, but I started using YouTube, or I made my account while Google Plus was still like a thing, and I saw this every now and then, and I thought it was so cool. Sorry, I'm responding to something. Ugh, I'm so unprofessional. I'm sorry.
Starting in 2013, in late 2013, YouTube's comment section would be replaced with one entirely powered by Google+, even requiring a Google Plus account to be associated with their YouTube profile to comment at all. This was a very controversial change at the time, with even the co-founder and creator of YouTuber's first video ever, Jawad Karim, making a post on his account saying, "Why the fuck do I need a Google Plus account to comment on a video?"
That's so
From
funny.
2013 to 2015, YouTube accounts had Google Plus accounts linked to them upon creation. This was changed in July 2015. Little known fact, Google Plus was not Google's first attempt at their own social media, with projects like Google Wave and Google Buzz being incorporated into Gmail as far back as 2009. The term adpocalypse refers to a variety of scandals that led to
low-key, I'm kind of surprised Google has well, I guess I'm not surprised. I was like, damn, I'm surprised Google hasn't tried like making a social media again, but I just feel like they don't have enough personality as a company to do it. Like when I think of like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, I think of like a certain type of person who would use it, but like who the hell would use Google? Like a Google social media? I think of like people in business suits and like board meetings, and that's why I think Google Meet is like a really good thing, like Google Classroom and stuff. But it's just such a like a sanitized and like corporate company Google that I can't imagine. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. I can't imagine like that actually being a thing. My friend's hounding me for Stellaris. I mean, I actually want to play Stellaris, but still, you know, I'm trying to be professional here. I'm just kidding. I don't really care. I love my friends. I love my friends. I love Mario Party. You know, I'm a cute little cute little critter.
Pulling their ads off YouTube, dating back to late 2016 and early 2017. The most notable apocalypse incident occurred in February 2017 when PewDiePie paid 2 people on Fiverr to hold up a sign with an phrase on it.
I forgot.
PewDiePie's reasoning for this was that he wanted to test how much he could push the rules and if they would do it or not. News outlets picked up on this as he was the biggest YouTube channel at the time and was almost the
that was so
Major
dumb
brands
of
would pull their
him.
advertisements off YouTube as a result, and YouTube would become much more strict with their demonetization policies. Dramageddon refers
He
to
wasn't
a
the
3-part series of
reason,
incidents occurring
if I
from the
remember
summer of
correctly.
2018 to late 2019
It was some other
in the YouTube
guy
beauty community.
who,
Named
like,
as such due to the massive size of all the creators involved and coverage
Really,
in
the
mainstream
Elsagate,
media.
I
The term
thought,
Dramageddon
but,
is usually
yeah.
used to refer to the drama between Tati Westbrook and James Charles in May 2019, though it's also often used to talk about the situation behind the Laura Lee apology video she made for racist tweets that came up where she pretends to cry for 4 minutes and mumbles. On the 10th of May 2019, Tati Westbrook uploaded the now infamous video by Sister, following a few weeks after James Charles' promotion of Sugar Bear Hair, a hair product which was the direct
Why the fuck is James Charles still relevant? I feel like this bitch has been through 10 different controversies and he's still around. What the fuck? I mean, to be fair, they're probably like nothing burger controversies. The only like actually bad thing I know James has done has been harassing a straight like waiter or whatever. That sucked. That genuinely was like really shitty. But outside of that, yeah, I mean like I assume I would probably hear about it if it was something like genuinely super bad. So I assume most of anything else James has done has been just like at worst petty. I would assume. Again, I could be totally wrong, but that's what I have to assume. Because James is still around, obviously. I feel like if James like killed someone, like I feel like that would be talked about more, you know? No, I did it again. I don't want picture in picture.
To Tati's brand Halo Beauty. In the video, she talks about how she feels like she was betrayed by James, as the two had been friends for years and she acted as a sort of mentor to him. As well as she talks about alleged instances of from James having a history of seducing straight men using money and fame,
which like
was really
genuinely
the
that
point
sucks.
for many
That does
former
suck.
James Charles fans. In the next 3 days, James Charles would lose over 3 million subscribers, even setting the
Jesus
world record
Christ,
for
I forgot how
most
big that
on one
was.
day on the 11th. Later that day, James would upload a response video named Tati, where he apologized to Tati and her
Dude, I
husband,
miss
James
when
Westbrook
all I
directly,
could care
maintaining
about
his
was
stance on
YouTube
why he promoted
controversy.
a
That shit was
hair
banger.
product brand, and doesn't address any of the claims made in by Sister. The video would later be deleted as a result of heavy
Yeah, it was
backlash. On the
I remember it was a
18th,
really
James
bad
posted a video
response.
named No More Lies, a video in which he directly addresses the claims made in by Sister with his own evidence. He gives a full, clear timeline of
Should've
events
just done this
concerning
at the
claim made
start,
by
from what I
Tati
remember.
that he tried to trick a straight man into thinking he's gay. This causes Tati to lose hundreds of subscribers in the following days after having more than doubled their subs
Yeah,
count,
'cause
following
this
the
one was
release of
really
By
good,
Sister.
yeah.
Overall, the situation was a huge mess and was so popular that anyone on social media, whether you were invested in the beauty community or not, heard about it in some capacity.
Exactly,
Plunging down
it
the
was
makeup YouTube drama
huge.
rabbit hole, Jeffree Star is a makeup artist and designer who originally built a following on MySpace
I
during
don't
the
know
mid-2000s and used it to build a career around
do not
music
know
and
anything
later
about
makeup.
Jeffree Star other than they are controversial. That is just it. Like, what the fuck is there? Like, I feel like there's just so much, but that's I just never really gave a shit. What the fuck even?
After the fall off of MySpace, Jeffree Star would become one of the top beauty YouTubers. Jeffree Star's earliest backlash came from very racist remarks and skits from 2007 and 2008,
really?
which would resurface time and time again. An apology was made in 2017 explaining that it was a dark time in Jeffree's life and that he used, quote, shock humor to cope with it. In 2018, a tweet including a photo of a friend group of makeup YouTubers that Jeffree Star frequently collaborated with would be posted with a, quite bitter caption. As a result, people
Oh my
started digging into
God.
the backstories behind the creators in the photo, which is what led to the Laura Lee apology video I talked about earlier. Call Me Carson was one of the fastest growing gaming YouTubers throughout 2018 and 2019, and is
I don't know
most
why
known
that's
for owning
funny to me.
S&P
Oh my
rivals.
God, I forgot Cars. This situation is still so weird to me. I understand if people like do or don't care about the 2-year age difference between 17 and 19. I think most people would say that it's generally like not a bad difference because it's a difference of 2 years. But I think I think people miss the picture with this whole thing, which is that like the reason people shit on Carson, or the reason why there was a whole thing, I don't think it was necessarily that. I think it was more so that he just did like kind of shitty things behind the scenes that we as like people just genuinely do not know about. That's the vibe I get from a lot of the response videos by the other people who like were in this, is that like he just kind of was a giant dickhead in certain ways. I know for one example, he was kind of like weirdly creepy with that one woman who there was like the whole, I actually don't entirely remember, but I want to say there was that whole thing with Carson being in a relationship with a person, and then people thought that person cheated on him, but in reality it was more so that Carson was just being kind of creepy towards the woman and he thought he was in a relationship or something, question mark. All I know is that like with Carson there's a lot of like nuanced reasons he sucks, and not necessarily just the 17-19 thing. That's the thing people grasp onto a lot, which is fair because that was like the thing I feel like that a lot of people talked about during that time, but I don't think that's necessarily the actual reason people should give a shit about Carson or and him being an asshole. It's like other stuff really, and that's why it's like so hard to like actually justify disliking Carson, is that there's just, I mean, straight up, there's just a lot of stuff we do not know because we are not within groups and people do not want to explain things, and like that's fine, it's their own prerogative, whatever. But that does make it very like weird to discuss because like I just feel like there's a lot of stuff with Carson we just do not know, but there's a reason everyone wanted to distance itself from him, and I don't think it was a 17-19 thing.
Still around. In March 2020, Carson would call the members of Lunch Club, the collective of content creators he was a part of, and confess that he had a 17-year-old fan when he was 19. Various members in Lunch Club would keep quiet about the situation until January 2021, when 2 members, Travis and Hugbox, talked about it on the show Drama Alert. A day later, the victim would come forward with message logs showing rather manipulative behavior on Carson's part. A lot of people are divided on this case, as some people think the age gap isn't large enough to worry about, and other people think that Carson's behavior during these conversations is really concerning, and that he knew exactly what he was getting into. Carson would stop posting on social media for months, only returning near the end of 2021. Lunch Club, the collective, has disbanded.
I will say, there is a very legal side to this, which is like I'm pretty certain he got explicit images from her, if I remember correctly, which is just genuinely illegal, like because she was underage. So I feel like that, like if you want to take a legal stance for this, totally, yeah, that's fair. Carson did do something genuinely illegal. So that kind of justifies like disliking him, at least in that sense. But no, there's just a lot of weird stuff about this case, which is like, damn, I kind of want to look into it later because like God, it's just so weird. It's just a weird little case.
And the people he's
and it makes me so sad too, because like every person in this room like I like these content creators. They make really good content, and I'm so sad that like one thing really bad thing happened and it kind of all fell apart. You don't see these guys collab anymore at all, and it's sad because they made such good content. I can't even bring myself to watch old Call Me Carson content anymore because it's just so sad in retrospect. I don't know. I really liked this group of content creators, and it makes me sad, so sad, with like everything that happened. Man, at the very least, they're still making content. Like C-Scoop makes stuff, Ted makes stuff, Slimesicle's killing it. I don't think Ultra or Dash is here. I don't know. I'm gonna say Ultra because that's this channel name. I think that's fine. Ultra isn't here, but he's killing it. Oh my God, I feel so bad. But another guy here, can't remember his name on the top of my head. he's still doing content too. Like there's a lot of content creators here who like still are making stuff, although it does make me a little sad they're still not doing stuff together. I understand though, that makes sense. If you had a whole big controversy thing, I don't think he would it would kind of separate the group apart. At least I would think.
To make videos with had cut ties with him entirely. Unrelated, but Carson faced backlash prior to this for a racist name they used on Minecraft in 2016, which has since been hidden on websites like NameMC. I'm gonna keep this part as short as possible, but Dream is one of the largest and fastest growing Minecraft creators of all time, though he's been receiving backlash throughout all
Oh my god, we are not getting dude. The problem with Dream Discourse is that he just has so much to talk about. There's like genuinely way too much to like go over. And it makes it, and there's some stuff that like he did nothing wrong in. There was stuff that he like was just fabricated, like contraries. There's stuff that he was genuinely in the wrong and should be like shit on for. There's just so much, man. Oh my god. I wonder what those cherries even gonna say in this video, because there's just so much.
Variety of reasons. Firstly, moderators of speedrun.com did research, figuring out that Dream's Minecraft 1.16 speedrun was fake, as Dream had cheated.
This one genuinely,
of Dream's
like,
luck with pro drops and trades, and everything going down the way that it did during his run was over 1 in 7.5 trillion. Dream revealed months later he unknowingly had a mod enabled during 6 of his speedrun practice streams. Before this, Dream had made a variety of racist jokes during his time on the internet, including the MLG edit of the which was featured in a video from 2015. Racist jokes made in 2019 during the PewDiePie World Seed Series era. On October 3rd, 2022, the long-awaited Dream face reveal occurred.
Oh man. I feel bad for the Dream face reveal, but like it was so clear he put his face in a position that he thought looked good and then didn't move it. It looks so awkward, man. Like, tell me.
So
he does the same face angle the entire time. I understand being nervous about sharing your face. Hell, that's why I'm not doing it. But like, dude, it was such an awkward video, man.
Most of the response was very negative, with many comparing him to some sort of character or talking about how he was forcing himself to talk at.
No, yeah. I will say, like, he genuinely does look fine. I think the video just did him really dirty. I think if he didn't force himself to look at this angle, it would have been a lot better. Like, if you're just talking to the camera or whatever, like, I think people... it was still a very bad time for Dream. People would have gotten shit on still, obviously, because, like, no matter what he did, but I think it would have gone over a lot better if he just, like, didn't force his face to do this. It looks so weird.
At an angle where you could see his jawline. He even unrevealed his face as statistics went down on his channel after the face.
I forgot!
To make matters worse, the same day multiple people came out with allegations stating that Dream had beat them when they were underage. There's also the time he had beat
those were fake.
Over 32. David Dobrik, the leader of YouTube influencer collective The Vlog Squad, is one of the largest vloggers on YouTube ever, winning and being nominated for countless streaming awards and Nickelodeon Choice Awards, having tens of millions of subscribers and over 8 billion views across his 3 channels. It seemed like David Dobrik really had everything going for him.
Yeah, he really did.
Uploading, he would come out with an apology video in March 2021. Stating that an anonymous woman had come forward stating that Dirty Dom, a former Vlog Squad member, despite her being too intoxicated to consent. Only a month prior, another former Vlog Squad member named Seth had accused David Dobrik of sexual assault after he was deceived into kissing another Vlog Squad member while he was blindfolded. While David Dobrik is still huge, this was a huge blow to his reputation. Dislikes removal refers to YouTube.
Wait, no, hold on. Wasn't there like
how many dislikes a video has?
Wasn't there more to it? I thought David himself did something really shitty. I don't think it was recent though. Was that it? I mean, that's still shitty on David's part. Like, you shouldn't have let that happen. But like, I thought there was more.
2021. There are extensions you can download for most browsers that undo this change, though it's still a very controversial decision. YouTube's main reasoning behind this change was that people actively work to drive up the number of dislikes on a creator's videos. Much like with the Google Plus comment update of 2013, YouTube's co-founder Jawad Karim would return to talk about how dislikes being removed was a universally disliked change, stating it would mark the start of the platform's decline. Leafy here was the main face of the edgy.
Honestly, yeah, I think dislikes being removed was super stupid. If it was to protect creators, as a creator myself, I can see dislikes. I'm like the only person on my platform who can see my own dislikes. It's not protecting anyone. It's protecting all it does. I think it just, like, looking back, it's still a stupid decision. It just kind of all it really does, at least to me, is make misinformation a lot worse. Because if I see a video and it's titled like or okay, let's just say that I watch a conspiracy video. If I see that has a lot of dislikes, I can be persuaded into thinking, oh, okay, this is just some BS. It isn't real. Whatever. But because they removed dislikes, there's just nothing. I genuinely have no way of knowing, like, if something is like BS or not. Like, if I'm a kid, I remember when I was a kid, and I was looking up Robux hacks, trying to get free Robux. I use dislikes as a way to tell apart like what's real and what's not. And I know that's a personal experience. Not everyone like had that same thing, but I feel like there's no real good reason. I guess it could be used as a way to hate on a creator, is to dislike bomb them. But I mean, comments kind of do the same thing, right? I don't really understand the reason to remove dislikes if creators' feelings are a major concern, especially since, again, creators can see how many dislikes they have. I don't know. It was such a dumb change. I really can't believe they actually went through with it, but I don't know. I mean, it does force a little bit of positivity, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Go Surf gameplay commentary YouTube channel wave of 2015 and 2016, and made a lot of enemies very early on in his career on YouTube. A lot of people, myself included, found out about him through the Reptilian Army or his comment spam that he started in 2015.
Oh my god, right,
the
his comment spam
throughout early 2016, though he was often criticized for doing things like making fun of random kids. A lot of people started to turn on him after a video he'd made making fun of a YouTuber named TommyNC2010. Tommy would respond with a video
that was so
crying,
like
explaining to
mean.
viewers that Leafy's fans had sent him a wave of death threats and hate comments. YouTubers like H3H3 would pick up on this, and the situation would garner a lot of attention. Leafy's daily view and sub counts would start to decline after iDubbbz's Content Cop episode.
I need to look up something for Fantasy Life. I need to look up aged items. I need to see what thing I'm going for my save. I'm doing magic. Doing 1,000 years aging, so probably want not plus 20 magic. That's so little. Huh. You probably charge damage. Yeah, that makes sense.
Leafy made in September, which garnered nearly 30 million views in the first year. In 2020, Leafy would make a return to the internet after a 3-year hiatus, and his channel would be deleting following a series of videos he made on Pokemon. Leafy's still active on sites like Rumble and Twitter, where he's you know, YouTube Rewind.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he kind of turned into a massive grifter. He already kind of was.
YouTube community each year. The contents of each episode would get more complex as time went on, featuring cameos from huge YouTube
Dude, I miss YouTube Rewind, although you really just can't do it nowadays. I really miss it though. Hell, even if it was the same forced like corporate version of the way it is, I would still like. That's so funny to me. I don't know why, but just like the stupid forced corporate YouTube rewinds were so funny, man. I really miss those.
Would be heavily disliked by the YouTube community, especially the 2018 YouTube Rewind, which is the most disliked YouTube video of all time, with over 19 million dislikes.
Yeah.
In 2020, YouTube decided they would not do a Rewind episode for the year, and that was the last we heard of YouTube Rewind. Jay Shah has been a controversial figure in the Minecraft community for the last few years. He started.
It is kind of weird having J-Slat in like a controversy video, because like outside of Minecraft, which I will say does generally have a more sensitive audience, like I don't think you can really call J-Slat controversial anymore. He's a little edgy, but I think that that's the most you could call it. I don't really think he I can't really think of anything like genuinely bad he's done. It's mainly just like I don't really like how he talked about someone, really. Let me hold on.
Growing as a YouTuber and streamer during late 2018 and early 2019, as he was often featured in SMP Live Highlights, Call Me Carson videos, he made his own video essays, and he was a part of the Dream SMP when it was very new. Once being a part of the Dream SMP crowd of creators, he would be separated after a series of insensitive jokes he had made came to light, the most notable of which was a Jackbox video he'd made with friends in March.
Oh, how did I forget? Like, yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I've never been particularly sensitive when it comes to video, like things like these. So I personally wasn't really like, but also I'm not the group of people that being made fun of in these videos. So I feel like that's kind of a moot point. Fuck. Yeah, I did forget it. I did totally forget about this. Yeah. I mean, I will say he does not do it anymore. So like. I mean, there's that. Yeah. I don't even know I could really defend it. It was kind of rough.
2021, which featured a blackface joke in the thumbnail. A lot of people, especially on Twitter, did not like this, and the thumbnail would be replaced with, Dumb Bird. There was much more like this on his channel, such as in 2020 during a video where he was playing Slender. He made a joke comparing the Paralympics to the game Quaff. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god!
Homophobic slurs which inspired the #KickSchlatt hashtag on Twitter, in which people
I will say it was a different. I probably shouldn't. I guess because of what just happened. But I mean, it was a different time. That's what I always say for like these types of things. But Jesus Christ, that was an insane fucking comparison. Oh my god, why would he say that?
People were demanding that Schlatt be removed from the Dream SMP. There are also a variety of miscellaneous controversial tweets, such as an Islamophobic tweet from 2018, a tweet from 2017, where Schlatt defends PewDiePie after saying the hard R on stream, and a now deleted tweet from 2020 that was seen by many as racist, though just as many people claim the tweet was taken out of context from its original thread. KSI has been on YouTube for years and is one of the biggest creators, period. Throughout his career though, however, he's been the center of many different controversies. In 2018, on Christmas Day, KSI and his brother Deji, who had uploaded videos alongside him at one point in time, had a violent altercation. This ended in KSI being kicked out of the house, and the whole altercation was very public, with both parties live tweeting about the whole situation as it was going on. In May 2019, Deji would upload a video about KSI getting very physical with him, and often trying to sleep with girls Deji had already been in a relationship with. Both sides would make long videos about the situation, and in 2021, Deji and KSI had a reunion, marking an end to a long and drawn-out battle. KSI's most recent controversy was when in a video on the Sidemen channel where they were playing some sort of word game, KSI used a racial slur against those of Pakistani descent to try and win a round of the game. This started a wave of backlash against KSI, and he would quickly apologize, stating it wasn't okay under any circumstance. As a result of being kicked out of VidCon 2018, YouTuber Tana Mojo, who already was a very controversial YouTuber, attempted to host her own convention. This convention was TanaCon 2018, or what I'd like to call Fire Festival Redux. There was no security, the capacity was only 1,000, while there were 4,000 people in attendance.
Dude, I want to go.
Shut down
I
on
missed
the first
out.
day due to safety hazards. Overall, the TanaCon convention was a complete disaster, with her not even being there half the time. To finish off tier 1, I want to talk about Miranda Sings, who was accused of in group chats when she was 30. This is someone with well over 10 million subscribers on just her main channel alone.
Wait,
in response,
oh yeah, it's been long enough. It would be in this video.
Insane. She doesn't really refute any of the alleged claims and just sings about manipulation.
Like, okay, whenever I think of, like, what would I do if I was in a massive controversy? This is, like, the last thing I would do. Oh my god, oh my god, this was an insane video. Why did she... It still baffles me to this day. I mean, she felt like she was not in the wrong, so she made this video being like, lol, I'm not in the wrong, fuck you. But like, Jesus Christ. That was so dumb. Just straight up, in retrospect, I can't believe she would make something like this. Oh my god. I have no words, like, genuinely.
Making
I
allegations.
think it being stupid is obvious.
This entry refers to a video named Hi Walter, I Got a New Girlfriend Today from 2009. The video starts off by addressing someone named Walter and telling him that he got a new girlfriend today while he was at the mall.
See where people
the man
thought
opens
this
the
was
door
real
behind
back
him
then,
and
I'm
you
not
can
gonna
very
lie.
clearly see a woman tied up on the ground and hear her crying for help. This video flew under the radar until 2016 when the video became popular again because people on Reddit mistook the tied up girl for a missing teenager from Wisconsin named
that was
Kayla
so
Berg, who went
sad.
missing around the time the video was uploaded. This was false, and Kayla Berg's actual mother went on the news to disprove this fact. It was confirmed this was a fake creepy video and that the actor we see in the video was in multiple other videos. Kayla Berg is still missing. I should also mention that back in 2009, weird creepy one-off videos like this were very common. 1444 refers to the name of a gore video of a live-stream suicide that took place on the 17th of October 2019. Later that same day, it would be uploaded to YouTube by a channel named Gore, and it wasn't taken down for a whole 3 days. In these 3 days,
That was
people on
kind
social
of-
media
that's kind of
advised against
fucking
searching the
insane.
video up. YouTube
That would
moderation
never-
was
I feel
very
like that
slow
would
to
never
keep this
happen
video
nowadays
down
on
for some
major
reason.
YouTube.
Tumad is a video editor and
What? New
YouTuber who was
YouTube? What?
responsible for a lot of popular memes throughout the mid to late 2010s. From his
Oh my
Overwatch edits,
God.
which were popular in 2016, to something like the Goodnight Girl video or his Zoom raids that were on the news during quarantine. Throughout the last 4 years, he's been the center of many controversies, such as the feud he had with another YouTuber named Jameski in late 2019, though the original videos Tumad made about the situation have been deleted, and nothing came of it afterwards. The thing that originally set a lot of people off about Tumad was a bit that he would do quite often, which a lot of people considered to be racist against different Asian cultures, during his battle against the BTS fandom and many of his Zoom raiding live streams. So what really shattered his reputation for good was what he said on social media in June of this year. On the 23rd, in response to a comment telling Tumad that he had no life, Tumad would quote retweet it with a picture of Brianna Jai saying she was
Jesus
his
Christ, that
girlfriend.
was
For
so
those who don't know,
bad.
Brianna Jai was a 16-year-old trans girl who was stabbed to death by 2 teenagers in what was later revealed to be a hate crime in February of 2023. A lot of users were upset at how insensitive the original tweet was, and Tumad would respond to this backlash by saying he didn't know who she was and just saved the image because she was hot. The picture was
Oh my
taken when she was only
God.
16 and Tumad was 22. Less than
Ugh,
24
that was
hours
so
later, an
fucking
ex-girlfriend of
bad.
Tumad would come forward alleging that Tumad had sexually assaulted her and would go on to spam her with texts on different throwaway phone numbers for 7 months straight. She later
Jesus
attached a real
Christ.
video of Tumad apologizing, confirming this was something that really happened. Tumad had even signed a thrown-together contract stating he would not entertain the idea
guy
of any
was
sexual
fucking
activity with the
insane,
victim.
man.
Tumad's
Holy
tweets From
shit.
then on would get more and more manic, with some tweets even saying things like, "Never sexually assaulted nobody in my life, but not gonna stop crazy bitch from lying on YouTuber guy." And, "You want me to suffer for it? Hell nah, and you know what? I would do it again." The situation is very new,
Oh
and
my
as I'm working
fucking
on this
God,
video, more
man.
information may come out. Coney 2012 was a documentary by Invisible Children Incorporated, made about Invisible Children's plans to capture Joseph
I forgot this was
Kony.
like a
Joseph
YouTube
Kony is a
thing.
Ugandan war
Like,
criminal
2012
and
is
leader of the
just,
LRA,
like-
who was responsible for the
Well, I'd say it's
murders,
more than a
abductions, and
YouTube thing. That was, like, a
enslavement
whole
of
weird
tens of thousands of
movement.
children, as well as the employment of child sex slaves and child soldiers. The documentary was wildly viral on YouTube, hitting the 75 million view milestone in just a week, which was insane for 2012, let alone now. The man behind the documentary was Jason Russell, and he would become a controversial figure himself not long after the documentary
Yeah.
was published.
Oh
Many
my
were
God.
unsure where the money raised behind the documentary would
I-
go,
I-
and many would
there's
call
so
the
much
documentary too
crazy shit
oversimplified,
related to
and the
this whole,
project was
like,
unfocused in its goals.
Pony
The public
2012
pressure and
thing.
controversy surrounding him would break Jason Russell, and TMZ would publish footage of him
Yep,
in
there
mental
he goes.
breakdown, yelling and running around outside completely naked. Jason would be detained, and the reputation of the Coney 2012 campaign and its creator were severely damaged. The Invisible Children Foundation has been disbanded, and no, Coney has not been caught. T. Martin is a gaming YouTuber who was under fire in 2016 for his promotion of a CSGO gambling website. He
Dude,
co-owned the
T.
website with
Martin,
fellow YouTuber
this is
Syndicate,
the
which
dog
he did not
dude,
disclose,
right? That-
which is
oh
a
my
crime.
God.
This led to a now deleted apology video to be published, which is considered to be one of the worst YouTuber apologies ever. MJStation was a controversial YouTuber who was most known for those 3 AM Among Us deep web potion type videos. His first bit of controversy came in 2016 when he was arrested for trespassing during the filming of an overnight challenge video. 2 years later, he would be the center of more controversy
Oops, I
after
suck.
using the deaths of famous celebrities for views, making
What a
3 AM
fucking
videos about people like
asshole.
XXX
This guy's, like,
Tentacion,
genuinely
Etika, and Mac
deranged.
Miller. In January 2020, he posted a video where he pretended that his girlfriend had passed away and that he was saying goodbye to her in the video. As some were quite skeptical, YouTuber Some Ordinary Gamers would contact his local police asking if anyone
This is such a funny play by him, just to actually call them. Unfortunate waste of police resources, but like, holy shit, that was so
About
funny.
the situation, confirming it was fake. Only a week later, Jay Station was
It's completely fucking disproving
violent
it.
fight with his girlfriend, and on the 13th of March 2021, all of his channels would be terminated completely. In April 2016, the owner of the YouTube channel Matt Huss Zone would file a lawsuit against commentary duo H3H3 Productions as a result of a video the duo made poking fun at Matt. Matt Huss's lawyer claimed that 70% of Matt's original video was used without H3H3 contributing anything substantive to it, and H3H3 would win the lawsuit in 2017, with it being ruled that Matt's video being used was fair use as a matter of law. JonTron was a normal Boots member and game reviewer who was most popular on YouTube during the early to mid-2010s.
No, not
In March of
JonTron,
2017, JonTron would receive a lot of backlash after various racist comments and white supremacist
Oh my
talking
god,
points were used during a live stream political debate with Stu and Destiny.
I like don't think about
times in the past, especially
these
on
now
the Game Grumps YouTube
like
channel.
controversies.
This incident led to him being kicked from normal Boots.
As much, and they just hit me like a truck.
Comedy YouTuber who has been making videos since
Like, oh my god, Onision! I didn't know they Onision in a while. My life was so much better before this.
You'd know that his love life and every detail about his relationships was very public, with many of his relationships ending on very sour notes. Over time, more and more allegations about his awful, abusive, and manipulative behavior would come out against him as far back as 2012. In 2019, however, the most damning evidence against Onision and his spouse Kai was revealed by a girl named Sarah, who had been living with them since she was only 16. What Onision had told his audience was that this was like a foster child type relationship, though this had actually been much more sinister behind the scenes, describing allegations of sexual assault and predatory behavior from both Onision and Kai. Kai had also been exchanging nudes with multiple teenage fans despite being in their 20s. These details
what the fuck was that about,
and as more and more of the
Jesus
YouTube
Christ.
community found out about these allegations, people would start mass reporting his profiles, and this is what caused the infamous Patreon meltdown videos, which put him in the spotlight even more. 2 lawsuits were filed against Onision by victims of his abusive and predatory behavior in February and March of 2023. This is far from the only controversies he's ever faced too. Throughout 2016, Onision had a series where his underage fans
so
would
much
send him pictures
shit
of their
like,
bodies for him to body shame them in front of millions of people.
Deservedly
That was
so. They're
basically
fucking
it. Onision also posted many videos making fun of Eugenia Cooney for her anorexia, and in the summer of 2011, Onision published 2 videos about his ex-girlfriend Shiloh experiencing seizures and episodes of memory loss caused by transient amnesia. These were heavily criticized as she never received medical attention, only because Onision believed she didn't require emergency medical attention for something like memory loss. As well, Onision has been accused many times of abusive behavior towards his own children, with this audio being recorded in the background of one of his spouse's videos.
Oh my god, I forgot.
They're actually not as sweet as I thought they would be, and it looks fucking awesome. Oh, my second one. Oh, we just savor it and eat it slowly.
Jesus Christ, I can't believe they would even upload this.
Caramel apple empanada?
In January 2020, his daughter fell out of a second-story window in his home, which was a 20-foot drop, and her skull was fractured as a result of the fall. There is much more to the Onision rabbit hole that I won't get into for the sake of time. Comment bots on YouTube trying to scam viewers have been an issue for a very long time, though they've gotten much worse over the last 4 years. They come in many different shapes and sizes. One you might remember is the Logan wannabe friend bot.
There's usually like one bot at the top who's like, who loves this channel? But I don't really see them nowadays. It's been so long since I've seen a comment bot.
Options is one of those 3 AM challenge type channels.
Or comment bot wave at least.
Kids. Throughout 2017 and 2018, the channel was mostly criticized for one of 2 things. 1, the free gift card giveaway scams they would run in every video.
When it joins my free gift cards giveaway.
And 2, the content itself being really bad. Save the Kids refers to a pump and dump cryptocurrency scam scheme.
Oh my god, I forgot about Save the Kids.
This was bad. And YouTubers like Rice Gum and Sam Pepper. The creators who are built up hype around the coin just for its worth to drop by over 95%. The project was a complete and total scam, and the members of Face Clan involved were kicked shortly after. On the 3rd of April 2018, 38-year-old Nassim Agdam would open fire on the YouTube headquarters, injuring 4. She would then commit suicide at the scene. Nassim had been making YouTube videos under the name Green Nassim for years, though she believed she was being actively censored. She was barely making any revenue from her videos, claiming she had only made 10 cents for a video with over 300,000 views. Jenna Marbles is a former comedy YouTuber who had over 20 million subscribers, and in 2020, she uploaded an apology video apologizing for internalized misogyny, racist remarks, blackface featured in older videos, and more. She then explained that she would be taking an indefinite hiatus, and many fans have been wanting her to make a return, though it's insane. The apology video has since been made private. The massive media company
Jenna's like the only YouTuber who had a controversy who just stepped away and never came back fully, which is insane because I don't even remember what Jenna did being that bad. Hold on, does the cherries go over it again?
1,000 views. Apology video, apologizing for internalized misogyny, racist remarks, blackface featured in older videos, and more. She then explained that she would be taking an
okay, that's a few things, but again, I take it back to the it was a shitty thing to do, but it was also like a thing about the era. I feel like Jenna wouldn't do the same things, but yeah, it's crazy. She just dipped out. I feel like there are YouTubers who have done so much worse who have not dipped out. It's crazy.
Definite hiatus, and many fans have been wanting her to make a return, though it's unclear if she will. The apology video has since been made private. The massive media company Paramount Global, formerly known as Viacom, has sued YouTube countless times, even suing them for $1 billion at one point. Some of their earliest legal battles date back to March 2007, and Viacom has been blamed by people in the YouTube community for their strict copyright rules and content ID system for years.
You know the reason I know that Viacom is such like a like annoying thing for people is because of YouTube poops. That's how I know, and I think that's the funniest way to know. It's just because people who made YouTube poops, like specifically of SpongeBob, constantly shit on Viacom because of the amount of times they would like copyright strike their channel. It's so funny, man. Well, it's unfortunate, you know, losing the copyright, but like in retrospect, with like the whole like, because usually they have like edits of them like, I don't know, killing Viacom or something. Usually that's generally what happens. It's funny to look back.
60 popular media company Machinima would start hosting films made entirely inside video games submitted to their site on YouTube, and the Machinima YouTube channel.
It is insane to me how they basically made an entire genre. Like, these are just machinimas. Like, whenever you have a characters in game like talking to each other or doing things, that's a machinima. Like, that's insane to me, the reach that these things had.
Would become one of the most popular on the site, even being the 4th most subscribed channel at one point. In their time on YouTube, they had opened a Machinima MCN, which had a reputation amongst creators as one of the worst MCNs
it was
ever.
Terrible,
they had signed creators into
remember.
illegal lifelong contracts and taken amounts of money from them that I can only describe as cruel. And in 2019, out of nowhere, all of the work hosted on the Machinima channel would be wiped at once, and a month later they announced they'd laid off all their employees and were entirely defunct. In late 2015, comedian Nicole Arbor would upload a rant video named Dear Fat People. This video contained a string of insensitive statements against fat people that caused a lot of outrage and upset reactions in the YouTube community.
I don't know why she did that.
The video had over 20 million views before it was taken down. In 2016, YouTuber Matthew Santoro, who you most
he
likely
was
know from his
dating
videos
that
and
girl.
top 10 list videos, came out with a video about his relationship with Nicole Arbor, detailing a relationship where Matthew was both psychologically and physically abused. Nicole made 2 different response videos with conflicting stories about her side of the situation, adding on to the heavy amounts of backlash that Nicole was receiving around this time. 7 Supergirls was an all-girl group channel made of 7 girls that would create different comedic skits. They had many different channels such as 7 Awesome Kids, 7 Fantastic Girls, and much more, and across their many channels, the group had amassed a total of 17 million subscribers. In 2019, it was revealed that the founder, Ian Ryla, had molested a 16-year-old girl, causing all 7 Supergirls related channels to be completely demonetized and later deleted. I want you to guess how long Ian was arrested for. Did you guess 15 years? 10 years? Try 90 days, 3 months. He was arrested for 3 months.
90 days!
Is a variety YouTuber who's been popular for quite a while. While his channel is mostly centered around gaming and commentary, he's dabbled into video essays and film analysis as well. And also MLG parodies. In 2020, a Twitter user named Ivory alleged that a 19-year-old Pyrocynical groomed them when they were 15. In December, Pyro would respond, and a lot of people believe Pyro is not guilty, as the time Ivory's age was visible on Twitter lined up with the time that Pyro was banned from Twitter. Though either way, it was incredibly irresponsible for Pyro not to ask for Ivory's age. Also, a good majority of Pyrocynical's early content featured usage of the N-word, which has since been mostly removed from his channel. Channel 5, formerly All Gas No Breaks, was a news and journalism channel with over 2 million subscribers, run by Andrew Callahan. A lot of people I knew respected Andrew Callahan for his approach to journalism, often staying silent and completely neutral during interviews at various conventions and events, as he believed this was the best way to get them to speak their minds in an unbiased manner. In January 2023, a variety of news outlets published articles describing sexual assault allegations against the host, Andrew, and a TikTok made by the victim about the incident spread on social media like wildfire. This was shortly after the release of Andrew's HBO documentary, This Place Rules. In February 2017, an exploit was discovered where someone could subscribe to a channel, then unsubscribe.
Oh yeah, this was really funny. It like only took a really good day.
Era of huge
but it was so funny.
Going down by thousands per minute. This bug was patched within a few days. Tobuscus was by far one of the largest gaming creators of the early 2010s, who rose to prominence after a string of successful Minecraft parody songs, Let's Plays, and the literal trailer series.
He's just
As
a
Minecraft's
different
popularity
guy.
declined during the mid-2010s, Tobuscus failed to adapt. April Fletcher, an ex-girlfriend of Tobuscus, wrote a long Tumblr post detailing Toby's physical and mental abuse during their relationship and an alleged incident where Toby drugged and sexually assaulted April. Though Tobuscus had responded to the allegations on 2 separate occasions, it was far far too late, and his career never fully recovered from the backlash he received. Super Mario Logan, or SML, is a YouTube channel mostly consisting of comedy sketches acted out with Mario plushes and miscellaneous characters like Jeffy. SML has been on YouTube since 2007, uploading plush videos from the very start, but started getting a larger audience during the 2010s.
I feel like what's gonna
SML has been criticized
the
for
really
years for making
unfortunate,
disturbing
like,
and vulgar content despite having a young audience, with some episodes even containing jokes based on ableist or racist stereotypes. This criticism and backlash from parents would see an increase after a story on GMA ran on the Super Mario Logan channel, calling it an online nightmare for parents of a young kid. Despite many of his channels having millions and millions of subscribers, they've been repeatedly demonetized and deleted for his controversial content. In February 2021, Nintendo sent SML a cease and desist, as Nintendo representatives believed that characters from the family-friendly franchises should not be paired with SML's content. Linemaker or Linemaker Studios was a Minecraft
I
channel
love him because like one second he's like freaking out about his YouTube channel, and then the next he's like flexing his like Tesla and shit. He's so weird, man. And just the fact that he makes plush videos too, combined with that, it's so good. That's a Linemaker. Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while.
The channel was created in 2013 and gained 500,000 subscribers in the first 2 years as a result of collaborations with YouTubers like Stampy Longhead and Paige the Panda. In September 2015, a distraught mother of a Linemaker fan would make an appearance on Drama Alert, telling Keemstar that Linemaker, at 27 years old, asked her 13-year-old daughter for nude photos. 3 months later, multiple teenage boys would come forward with stories of Linemaker having very explicit sexual conversations with them, even paying $500 for one of them to send him nude photos. It was also found out that Linemaker, at 27, had been in a relationship with the 15-year-old YouTuber named Paige the Panda, who appeared in many of his videos. Linemaker made a series of tweets about the situation, confirming the allegations were true, even leaking underage Paige the Panda's nude photos on his Twitter. In January 2018, Linemaker's channel would be completely deleted, and Paige would make a video that same year giving us more details about the relationship she had with Linemaker, which was very abusive on top of the 12-year age gap. Linemaker even attempted to come back to YouTube in 2019, though he had little to no success before his channel was deleted again. In 2016, Linemaker had supposedly been arrested for statutory rape and distribution of child pornography, though he had been released less than a year later for an unknown reason. Daddy05 or Family05 was a family channel created in 2015, where they would upload vlogs and videos of the parents pranking their 5 kids. As time would go on, the owner would try to get his kids as angry as possible, knowing that his viewers liked that the most. The behavior shown in these videos is straight up abusive at many points, and CPS had supposedly evaluated the family multiple times. One video called the Invisible Ink Prank seemed to take it too far, showing their kids crying as the parents screamed at them for something they didn't do, and that was the prank, in quotes. This video caused a lot of backlash against the family, and they would be interviewed on Good Morning America, leading to more and more people finding out about the original prank. In an apology issued shortly after, the founders would mention that they were now in family counseling. The biological parent of 2 kids in the family would use media attention to claim emergency custody of the kids as a result, and the parents would be sentenced to 5 years probation for 2 counts of child neglect. Daddy05 is often called the worst family channel on YouTube. Swizzy, or Hyojin, was a once respected animator on YouTube, though her reputation was ruined after a series of events from 2018.
This one was crazy too.
Firstly, and most easy to explain, there are a variety of screenshots and clips of Hyojin using racial slurs, even on live streams. Hyojin was also one of the biggest supporters of Shay's accusations against YouTuber Slazo in 2019, which, when confirmed to be false, caused a lot of backlash against both Shay and Hyojin. There are even allegations of pedophilia surrounding Hyojin's name, stemming from an NSFW Twitter account she uploaded drawn pornography of YouTubers on. On this account, Hyojin allegedly drew pornography of a 16-year-old Twitter user upon request, despite being an adult at the time. In 2022, gaming YouTuber Punkdog, who had been in a relationship with Hyojin from 2019 to 2021, released a statement talking about all the awful things Hyojin had allegedly done to him during the relationship. Some of these include physical abuse, like smashing Punkdog's head into a wall and threatening his life with a knife, as well as mental abuse. Ever since these incidents came to light, Hyojin's subscriber count has been on a steady downfall, even falling below the 1 million subscriber milestone. Illuminati is a video essay channel who used to make Reddit videos, though she recently has been under fire for a variety of things she's done. It started with a strange allegation of plagiarism.
There's like so much Illuminati too. They're genuinely insane.
A ripped paper effect and a text highlighting effect, which are very common in the video essay community on YouTube, and have been around long before she even had a YouTube account. Not long after, people would do some research, figuring out she had directly copied sentences from a Brian Deere documentary in a video about anti-vaxxers. Blair, the narrator of Illuminati, was a part of a YouTube collective called Sad Milk, and other members would open up with their own Twitter threads about how awful, abusive, and petty it was working with Blair behind the scenes. As a response, Blair made a video where she does not respond to many of the alleged working conditions she put Sad Milk under. Instead, she talks about very personal things things with another member, which should have not been in the video at all, such as posting another member's suicide note to get the focus off herself. In the video, Blair also throws out accusations at another Sad Milk member named The Click because of a supposed pedophile in his Discord who was not banned because he was not awake. Later, she would go on alternate accounts and harass him across multiple platforms, even paying people hundreds of dollars to find dirt on The Click, though all she could find were a few clips of him as a teenager using slurs. Again, this situation is very new, and some parts of the section may be outdated by the time you see this.
I mean, I don't think this is really outdated.
That was trending on Twitter following a series
other
of
than
events
she's
that
also
occurred
a
in
massive
September 2020.
plagiarist. But
For over 8 years, a video of a fake Russian road rage event has been floating around, where a bunch of people dressed as cartoon characters start beating up some guy on the road, and it's a clearly fake video, and no injuries or blood are shown, not even fake injuries. In the last days of August 2020, a bunch of videos of people like Markiplier and Moist Critical reacting to the fake road rage clip were taken off their channels, and they received strikes for violent content. These strikes were reverted in days as YouTube had realized their wrongdoings. The hashtag was used in a very similar way 2 years later after a bunch of YouTubers played a horror game called The Mortuary Assistant. Note that they're all playing the same game with the same scenes involved, including a scene near the end that had to deal with suicide. Corey Kenshin, one of the most popular Let's Play channels ever, released a video named YouTube Racism and Favoritism after his video and no one else's was age restricted for some sort of content.
This was so funny.
Guidelines.
It's so unfortunate, but it was so funny because YouTube was like, okay, we see we're being unfair, so they, instead of removing a strike, they banned everyone who played that game, which was so dumb.
In 2017, Pavel Betancourt uploaded a Mario Bros. 1 speedrun, claiming to beat the game in less than 5 minutes, which wouldn't have even been a world record. The footage here is stolen from a tool-assisted speedrun from 2008, including computer-performed moves that humans cannot perform without cheating. More footage is stolen from Darbian's former world record and Cosmic runs. The entire time, the speedrunner drinks Coke and eats pizza, which was memed in the speedrun community. The person behind the fake speedrun, Tavo Betancourt, would later apologize for the fake speedrun. Marina Joyce is a vlogger who often made videos focusing on makeup and beauty, and in the summer of 2016, something started to seem off about her videos to many people. Fans noticed that in one particular video she behaved a little bit erratically, much different from her normal videos. In this video, there are 3 things that made people believe that something bad was going on behind the scenes. 1, very visible bruises on her back and arms as she was showing off outfit ideas. 2, a brief point in the video where you can see someone behind the camera directing Marina on where to go. And lastly, people believed they could hear Marina say, "Help me," very quietly. The video went viral and people started the hashtag #SaveMarinaJoyce on sites like Twitter. 3 theories arose: that she had either been kidnapped by her boyfriend or was being abused, that she was suffering from some sort of untreated psychological issue, or that she was being held hostage by ISIS. These were all speculation and none were proven true, and some are definitely much more out there than others. In August 2019, she was reported missing with the UK-based organization Missing People, stating that she had been missing for 10 days prior. She was found less than a day later, which confused a lot of people, and she later tweeted that she was never missing. Austin Jones was a songwriter who got his start in the early days of YouTube, originally starting by uploading covers of songs, and later releasing multiple albums of original material.
For what I remember, this is like the first really big case of something like pedophilia happening when it comes to YouTube. This was massive. It's like the first one I could think of in terms of like chronological, like what happened, I want to say.
While he seemed to be just another successful YouTube singer with this exact haircut, multiple leaked screenshots of DMs between minors and the singer would surface, asking them for lewd videos. Later, a video that 22-year-old Austin sent to a minor would surface of him quietly demonstrating how to twerk. After a few years of allegations against Austin floating around on Twitter, authorities would raid Austin's home in 2017, where they would find pornography that his underage fans had sent him. Jones was sentenced to 10 years of prison on 1 count of receipt of child pornography in 2019, and is set to be released by 2028.
It never happens to these types of guys, but thank God.
Brooke Houts was a vlogger.
I really want to keep continuing, but low-key, I am kind of tired. And I do want to play games with my friend. I haven't eaten today, too. I probably should stop for now. I know this was pretty short, but I thought it'd be fun just to hang out and do a little fantasy life grinding. And also just, like, chill with y'all. I'll definitely try and do more, like, little streams every now and then. Just, you know, try to just make it a little more consistent. But anyways, I hope you guys have a lovely little night. And, or I guess, actually, it's not even night, it's actually evening. I hope you guys have a lovely evening. And I will see you guys next time.